Thanks, Megan. I am joined by Greg Remmenga. We're going to talk a little bit of legal advice here. And last week we got on a conversation about workers' compensation and negligence, but negligence of someone from a different company.
Right. So you're injured at work, but it's the fault of somebody not related to your company. So that means you can pursue the workers' comp claim, and then you can also pursue the negligence claim. Now, why this is very important is you and I have talked about workers' comp. The good thing about workers' comp is you don't have to prove it was somebody's fault. If you're injured, you get the compensation. The bad thing about workers' comp is it's very statutory. The law limits the amount that you can get and recover. For example, in workers' comp, you don't get any pain and suffering. You can't get any money for the pain and suffering and how this is going to affect you the rest of your life. In the workers' comp system, you also can't get money for lost future income. For example, if you've hurt your back, the workers' comp doctor says you're 12% disabled, but you can't get back to your type of employment, you can only get the 12% disability payment from workers' comp. You can't get the difference between what you could make with a good back versus what you can make now that you don't have a good back. And that is very significant if you're talking a construction worker, oil industry. An oil industry person, I don't know, they can make up to $6,000 a month perhaps, but if they hurt their back, they can never do that type of work again, which means that they're going to have to go to a retail store, some light duty job, and they are going to make significantly less, which you would not be compensated for in workers' comp.
Okay, so with a claim like this, you've got a little bit more leeway, a little bit more you can do. Now in a regular workers' comp type accident, are you also free to go for a separate negligence charge as well, or is that only when it's related to someone who's not working with you?
In a regular workers' comp claim, if it's caused by a fellow employee, by your employer, or by you, you can't pursue anything but workers' comp. But if it's caused by somebody other than a fellow employee or your employer, that's when you can get both the workers' comp and the negligence claim.
Okay, all really great advice, Greg. Thanks so much for coming in. And if you've got any questions for Greg, well, here's how you can reach him. He is there at 263-GREG. You can get to him at 2478 Patterson Road, Unit 21. That's where his office is. Greg, thanks again so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Stick around, folks. I've got that full weather forecast for you right on the other side of the break.
If you want Greg to answer one of your legal questions, visit krextv.com, click on Live in the Studio, and submit your question on the right side of the screen. Watch Greg's segment every Wednesday on News Channel 5 at noon.